Do snipers belong in competitive Fortnite? This is a bit of like a long debated topic that's gone back and forth between pro players, casuals, and all these others. And if you've been around actually in competitive Fortnite, if you played Cash Cups and FNCS, you'll see that Epic have changed their mind on this a lot. Some seasons they've removed snipers, others they've put them in, and currently obviously they are in the loophole and causing quite a lot of conversation and ruckus, I would say. Now there's a crazy clip that Queasy posted. This has absolutely nothing to do with this video, by the way, but I just thought it was awesome. Yesterday about Thomas HD absolutely dookie on a team 1v2 quick scope headshot no. Is it quick scope? Is a quick scope headshot someone? It was lovely. I put it on screen as I described that. Regardless. Anyway, the point of this is, are they broken? Should they be in competitive? And I think the first thing we need to do is list out what all of the problems with having snipers in a competitive loophole are before we talk about like the potential positives of them. The first one I got written here is, as most people have probably figured out, instant game ender. Now, you can do a lot right in your gameplay and make one tiny mistake and get headshot sniped, and it's pretty much completely over for you. Of course, main game mode being duos, this isn't necessarily so bad, but in solo... Did I say duos or solos there? Anyway, in solos, it's even worse because you can just be walking out, rotating in a solo victory cash cup, get headshot sniped, and it's just completely wraps for you. So that can obviously be a massive downside that can be really frustrating, and that doesn't feel very skillful, which is a thing we'll come back to later. The other side of that is that it also ruins the assault rifle balance a little bit too much. If the snipers are really, really strong and the assault rifles aren't, there's like, why would you ever take an assault rifle over a sniper? You know, in previous seasons without the bullet drop off, I think I've mentioned this in almost every Resub Extra video at this point. You know, you could use the assault rifles to get long range damage because it didn't have any like travel time for the bullet. So it's like you could guarantee yourself long range tags, which meant that taking a sniper didn't really make much sense. But now that all weapons have bullet drop off, it kind of like, it's like, why would you take an assault rifle over a sniper? Especially if you're kind of carrying an SMG, you're going to do way more damage and have the potential to hit like big bangs, get instant refreshes like that. So kind of throws off the loophole balance. I think this is also particularly true when it comes to peeking. There's actually more a kind of potential upside rather than, so maybe we'll sneak in this one a bit early, but usually one of the things that snipers are good for are, it means that you can't over peek, right? So if you have like a player who's sitting on height spraying assault rifles down, there's a risk that comes with them over peeking like that, which I actually like with the sniper rifles. But it kind of feels like a lot of this season is you just can't peek at all. It's not that you're punished for making bad peeks. It's that sometimes it's just like you're just punished for making any edit or any rotation, and it feels a little bit too punishing. The other point is it also has 3 shots, which is in one clip is a lot. So there's not that kind of time you have to ADS out, reload, and then zoom back in to see your target. You're just keeping zoomed in on them, keep shooting over and over again. Obviously, it's not a massive problem, but it's not a benefit by any means. The current snipers are definitely not that balanced for that. Then, of course, also glare balances things out a bit. I may be wrong on this. I'm actually checking this after this video, but I'm pretty sure the lower 2 rarities of snipers, not rarities, sorry, the lower 2 scopes, so the no scope, 1.3 is it? And then the 2 times don't have any glare, whereas the other 2 do. So that's a big problem because you don't even know someone's looking at you, the sniper, and you could think that they have an assault rifle, where in reality they are going to hit an absolute headshot and wipe you out of the game. And that's a big problem too. So there's a lot of issues that they're causing, and in particular, obviously the main one is just an instant game ender. Like a lot of the pros are complaining, and if you've ever watched any of the pro gameplay, like if you watched Vino play, I watched through a bunch of his Cash Cups yesterday in solos, like they hit a ridiculous amount of headshot snipes to the point where it's like, if you just go and watch his games and you'll see why it's so broken, right? And so on the flip side of that though is like, what would be an argument for the positives and why should you include snipers in a competitive meta? And I think the first part, as I've mentioned already at the start of the video with the Thomas HD clip, is that there are good clips. This one I'm referring to on Twitter, I think it already has like 10k likes, something like that. Like that is a massively viral clip for just something that's gameplay as part of an Opens Duo Cash Cup. You know, it's not like it's one FNCS doing a crazy clip. It's literally just like I've 1v2'd someone using a sniper and then I think pumped the other one. I can't remember off the dome. That clip has 10k likes. So in terms of like growing Fortnite competitive and getting like casual players more interested, like let's be real, the snipers are good. And on the other side of that, they are fun to use. They are not fun when they're used against you. No one has fun when they get headshot sniped. But if you hit a bang onto a player, headshot snipe, like it's satisfying and it feels good. So there's obviously like a bit of a balanced disparity there because yeah, it's fun when you have it, but it's definitely not that fun when you're getting absolutely slapped about by it. So I think most of the other positives really are that it's just not so good for the best players in the world, right? Like, you know, if you're a tier 1 player and you're going to be playing an FNCS, like those are the people who are really mainly concerned with getting sniped over and over again. Sure, the average person who's playing like a cash cup, you know, like a newbie player, top 10k, they might be annoyed by snipes, but it's not like ruining their career in a sense for the most part, whereas the top players are. For everyone else, it's like, oh, it's fun, I get to take a sniper and I get to use it. So again, there's like another balance there of it's like the majority of people probably do enjoy using snipers, and looking at some of the comments on my TikTok, that seems to definitely be the true. But again, then the pros don't like it. So again, there is a bit of a balance there. So a lot of problems, and there's also a lot of positives. So the reality is, do I believe they should be in? And I think I'm gonna say yes. Despite the fact I think there's a lot of problems, as I mentioned, with snipers already, I do believe these can be balanced off in a way where they fit the game a little bit more. So the first point would be, obviously, Fortnite's already made like a change yesterday, as of recording this, to the snipers to make them a little bit more difficult to hit. So back in chapter 1, my first, sorry, I'll read that. The first change I'd thought about putting to snipers to make them a little bit more balanced was actually just making them harder to use. Now, if you remember way back to the start of chapter 1, that's when snipers were really difficult. If you watch a lot of these old clips, there's a ton of bullet drop off, and the bullet actually goes extremely slowly, which makes it, of course, harder to hit. It's not RNG, it's just more skill in that sense. So more skill equals less people dying unskillfully. Who would have thought, right? So I think like a solution like that would make it fit a lot better. I do believe that one-shot headshot snipes should stay in. It's not good for the top level pros, but if you're a viewer of competitive Fortnite or you're an average player, like these things bring interest into the game as a whole. And as of late, I've kind of more been falling down the path of like, we should probably keep some things in competitive Fortnite that potentially aren't the most competitive, because it's better in the long run. And I think snipers is one of those things where like you'll just get more people playing if it's more fun and you have snipers in it. Good luck to all the pros though. Another change I thought I would put in, so rather than just changing the bullet drop off, would be to only put them from specific guaranteed spawns. So when the rocket launcher was becoming a problem in chapter 1, it was just put straight into the supply drops only, and I loved that change. And it's almost like a kind of a bit of a shame that that idea has kind of gone for the most part outside of like mythics. I would love it if they were in the, it's not the vaults, but whatever the wall boxes are, if that was the only place you could get snipers. Because if you look at a map of Fortnite GG, it's not just the vaults that have them, like they're relatively evenly spread out across the map. That would make those spots a little bit harder to drop for overall in like a competitive match too. And it would bring the RNG down a bit. It's like you could fight for a sniper this way rather than just like, oh, I found one, now we're chilling and we've got it off spawn. So I think that would be some ways to balance them a little bit more. But again, I think they should be kept long. Let me know what you guys think. Obviously, another resub ramble. I should have called this channel, not resub extra. Resub yapping, yap hub. Anyway, you get it. Goodbye, people. Love you.